I didn't wake up that day thinking I meet a dying man. I had no plan, no vision, no grandeur or holy plan. I was just passing through, a face in the crowd. The voices were wild and the city was loud. I heard the shouting before I saw his face, but when I did, everything in me stopped in place. He didn't look like a threat or a thief. He looked like a man buried under unspeakable grief. His back was torn, his eyes were low, and each step he took was slow, so slow. That cross was crushing him, too heavy to bear, and still he kept moving, like love pushed him there. Then suddenly a soldier pointed straight at me and said, "You help him now." I didn't get to agree. Before I knew it, they threw his burden on my back, rough wood, thick blood, my world faded to black. I didn't want it. I didn't understand. Why should I carry the weight of another man? But then he looked at me. And in that glance, something set me free. His eyes, they weren't filled with blame. They looked at me like he already knew my name. Not with anger, not with regret, just the kind of love I haven't forgotten yet. But it wasn't just a glance. It was a moment that shattered me in silence. His eyes locked on mine, and I felt known. Like he saw every part of me I've never shown. He saw my failures, my doubts, my pride. He saw the battles I fought deep inside, and somehow he didn't look away. He held my gaze like he came for that very day. No words were spoken, but something was said, something louder than what could be read. He was saying, "I know, I see, and I choose you still." And in that stare, I felt time stand still. It was as if in his pain he was carrying me whole, like I was the weight he held deep in his soul. And in that sacred, shattering stare, I knew this wasn't just wood he chose to bear. Step by step, I walked by his side. He struggled, he groaned, but he never once tried to hide. It felt like I was holding up his cross, but in truth, it was him holding me through my loss. Because in those few moments of walking beside him, I felt like my life began to brim with questions, truth, and pain, but also with a peace I couldn't explain. And when we got to the top of that hill, they let me go. But I couldn't leave. I needed to know. I watched them lay him down in that beam. Nails went through him as he let out a scream. And I'll never forget the sound of that cry, like love itself was learning how to die. And then he looked at them with tears in his eyes. "Father, forgive them." To my surprise, I just stood there, stunned and still, knowing this death was more than just Roman will, because I had felt it. When I held that tree, it wasn't just his cross, it was me. My sin, my lying, my cheating, my pride, my hidden shame, my broken heart, my forgotten name. He carried it all and never complained, even while his blood was being completely drained. They buried him, but it wasn't the end. 3 days later, hope rose again. The grave gave way to life and breath. He walked out victorious over death. And now I carry something new inside, not a burden, but a fire I cannot hide. See, I came that day just passing through, but he passed something eternal into me too. For you don't just carry his cross and stay the same, not when the man you walked with knows your name. He carried me. Though I held the tree, now I live so the world can see that the love I felt on that bloody road was the kind of love that lifts your load. He died for all, But that day I knew he died for me, and he died for you.